So enough with basketball. It's finally football season. We're a month out from the first game.
Feels like it's been forever.
Oh, yeah. But, hey, man, there's nothing like college football.
Nothing.
There really isn't. And although there's some bad vibes around the Kentucky program, we got some hope with Mark Stoops. Finally talked to the media. We were there. Big Blue Nation, welcome back to another episode of the Bluegrass Breakdown with my guy Israel Schill. We have had a very slow summer, and these weeks have been feeling long.
We've had like spurts of stuff, a little bit of La Familia action.
Yeah, I was about to say that La Familia week was nice because it gave us 3 basketball games to go to.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate that they lost. Our last episode we recorded is the day of the game they lost.
The day of, so.
So just wanted to touch on them real quick, but it was a cool little event.
Yeah.
I mean, it was my first time experiencing all of it put together.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, like, man, could you imagine, like, the atmosphere of, like, a Yum Center or Rupp Arena and those guys playing? So, like, I know TBT's wrapping up right now, and gosh, I can't even keep up with it. I think we are D3.
Yeah,
like
for some odd reason is making like a crazy run right now.
It's like, okay, but I don't know. It was cool to me.
It was cool.
And I'm excited to see who they add to next year's roster because I'm hearing a lot of names roam around. I don't know who or what, but like there's some, I don't know. I feel like they're on the recruiting trail of it because like, I believe –
Think about it like this. They can get like Rondo and Boogie Cousins and John Wall, and there's like so many players that they could put on that team.
How do you get those guys though, right?
Well, you get them to call each other basically. You know what I mean? Kind of like what Willie was doing this year, calling up guys and being like, calling up the Harrison twins. Hey,
I think
you guys coming back.
I think guys like Reed Travis is like realistic because no hate to him. He's great in college, but I have no idea what he's doing right now. And I'm assuming, winning a pot of $2 million would probably, like, convince him to come play some basketball for his alma mater. So it's like, I have no idea what he's doing right now.
He is playing for Sun Rockers Shibuya of the B League.
Heck yeah, man. Let's go.
Heck yeah, to
bring him
the
to
Sun Rockers Shibuya. I don't even know where that is, and I don't want to know. So I'm
Shibuya, yeah. Anyways, we'll talk about some more relevant basketball topics.
Yeah. But we got some fresh action now. Some new stuff to talk about. We're really excited.
Per Travis Branham, Tyran Stokes is really warm for Kentucky.
Cooking up.
That blew my mind seeing that. I knew Tyran was like pushing the narrative a little bit for Kentucky, but this is the number 1 guy in the 26th class. This is insanely huge because I think, one, this is the first big get for Pope if he commits to Kentucky. This is like, oh, hey, I can do what Cal did. I can bring in these guys.
Yeah, I can bring in top talent at a high school and win games with them.
I also don't feel like an NBA farm. Yeah. Like, we're here to win college games as well. I don't know. This is a huge, huge get if everything ends up. Obviously, this is like Jason Hart's guy, not just Mark Pope. But
of course, yeah.
I don't know. It's weird to say any definite. So obviously, we have no idea. He's from Louisville, grew up in Louisville, so that always scares me, especially with if you were to ask Kai, hey, what happens? I would be like, Taylor Kinney goes to Louisville and Tyran goes to Kentucky.
It could very well be the other way around.
I think it could be the other way around.
Or they could both go to Louisville or both Kentucky. Oh, man. There's a lot of options between these two recruits that could really make or break either of these teams.
Yeah, I think I think the lineage, how it lines up for me and how I'm, like, imagining, I'm thinking JQ leaves, right, for the draft.
For the draft, of course, yeah.
And then you're going to have, Tyran come in at power forward for Kentucky and be that, like, paint presence. Because I think, like, out of everything that Kentucky needs on this year's team, it's maybe, like, another solidified big man or someone young.
Yeah.
Because you have Malachi, obviously, but he's young. You have Yelovich, but although he's been a pro, he's young. a freshman. You know what I mean. He's 21, but he's a freshman. That's how he's labeled. You don't know how he will translate to college ball.
Real quick.
And then BG,
Tyran Stokes put up, sorry to cut you off, in Peach Jam at the EYBL, because I know they just had that.
Yeah, I was watching him.
21 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block.
He's a monster, dude.
He shot 54% from the field, 60% from 3. 60% from 3?
And the thing is, because I've seen him play power forward. I've seen him play center. I've seen him play small forward. And it's like, could you imagine? He's 6'7". So imagine, like, stop.
sorry.
No, but he's 6'7", so it's like.
It's a big guy.
He could realistically be like a Cam Williams type, but I also could see him being like, he's a big boy. He's 250, so it's like,
but at the same time he's young, so you don't know if he hits 6'11" and fills out a little bit more.
He's
like
17 years old,
exactly. So if he grows a few inches and fills out, he could be JQ. You know what I mean?
Oh, easy.
Easy.
No, JQ's different, bro.
Yeah, JQ's just got that.
I've never
aggressiveness,
because like I've seen Mark Pope up close and personal, and it's like he's tall. And
he's a pretty big guy.
I've seen Willie Cauley, and I'm like, he's tall. But in my mind, it's like he's older. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I saw JQ before he turned 18 walk in, and he's the same size as Willie Cauley, but his arms are like the same as BG's freaking darn near, and he's 17 years old. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's going to be insane.
Yeah.
I was like, no wonder NBA teams are already salivating over him, and he has a freaking knee injury and not even playing college ball.
Like last year, teams were like, well, maybe we still take him. It's like, all right, relax.
But back to Tyran, that would be a huge get.
It would be a huge pickup.
I think, like I said, I'll reiterate, but Tyran Stokes seems like a Kentucky guy. Talon seems like a Louisville guy, because Pat Kelsey put in his work on Talon early, and Pope kind of swooped in just to, like, how it pops up, like, a rival is signing this guy. Do you want to put in your bid as well?
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like, might as well.
I might as well throw whatever at him.
But I think that's a Pat Kelsey kid to me. So, as the Tyran stuff continues to heat up, I think when he announces like a final top 3, because I think Talon did a top 12.
And he's cutting it down to 7 in a week or 2, I think.
But when Tyran is down to his top 3, in my mind, I'm thinking Kansas, Louisville, Kentucky, and then he'll probably pick Kentucky. That's my, like, executive pick.
Yeah.
But
it's really cool because it's realistically like the first offseason we're getting, where Pat Kelsey and Mark Pope each kind of have
going at war.
Yeah, kind of have like this first chance to go at each other on the recruitment side, and obviously between these two powerhouse basketball schools in the state. So it's really interesting and really cool to see.
So enough with basketball. It's finally football season. We're a month out from the first game.
Feels like it's been forever.
Oh yeah, but hey man, there's nothing like college football.
Nothing.
There really isn't. And although there's some bad vibes around the Kentucky program, we got some hope with Mark Stoops. Finally talked to the media. We were there. He's very optimistic in talking about getting the head out, getting everyone's head out of the sand, and having a fresh start at Kroger Field. There's 50 new guys on the team.
5-0.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
When you're
that's the whole NFL roster, basically.
Yeah, when you're living in this transfer portal era and you have NIL and all this crap, it's so open, and it's like, oh yeah, we have 50 new guys. What about it? It seems normal. And I didn't really process it in my head, because I'm thinking like, yeah, you got Cutter coming back, and but you think Bo and Cutter were here, but it's like everything else, I'm like, oh yeah,
it's pretty
he's
fresh.
New. Oh yeah, he's new. Oh crap, yeah, 50 guys. That's a lot to process, but also the biggest point that he made is they don't have transgressions from last year.
Yeah.
They're not beating themselves up. You have guys like Kendrick Law, who came from, Alabama. He's coming from the most prestigious school ever, and he's just coming to Kentucky like, oh, hey, I'm a star. Let's get it.
Yeah.
You have Cal Zeta coming from incarnate word. And it's like,
sorry, it still makes me laugh.
6-year, 7-year senior, whatever
Something
he is.
like that.
So much experience.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's all these guys are thrown in this big old melting pot. And it's like, here's Kentucky football.
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting, but it's also kind of like, oh, gosh, what's going to happen? I think everyone's expecting the worst.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I mean, it's typically
– which is fine.
Fans expect the worst when it comes to football here. But it's cool because – you know, for the first time since we at least were freshmen here, this is basically we're not seeing any familiar faces returning. I mean, the guys that we started watching when we first got here, you know, I mean, even Barryon Brown, you know, Dane Key, like guys like that who are gone and were staple pieces. And obviously Dion got drafted, Maxwell's drafted, like guys like that who are really part of the last 4 or 5 years of this team. It's a whole new ball game now.
Yeah.
You get a whole new roster and really, really it's going to be a tough season, to say the least.
Yeah, I think I know you love talking about this because it's your guys, man, but I believe in the run game because that's always been Kentucky's identity. I was watching Randall Cobb highlights earlier and seeing him scramble for
out
40.
the Wildcat, you know, and then
like,
Benny Snell, Chris Rodriguez, and, you know, a lot of these guys in the last 10 years.
Ray Davis.
Oh, Ray
Davis. It's been Kentucky's identity for as long as I can remember. And now I think when you have a solid O-line and 2 stud running backs, when I say 2 stud running backs, I mean, like, I'm believing in my mind that Kendrick Law is going to be the only productive receiver of some sorts.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be the only guy who gets 50 yards a game if Calzada's horrible.
Well, yeah. Him and hopefully Jamari Macklin is able to get some production on that side.
When Kentucky is rolling, I believe it's going to be because of Dante Dowdell and Seth McGowan. So I know you want to talk about that.
Yeah, a little bit about Seth McGowan. Obviously, his past.
Shout out Oklahoma, baby.
Shout out Oklahoma. He was a little bit up in the air. The last few years, he had some problems getting in trouble with the law here and there when he was at Oklahoma. You know, was dismissed from the team and then went to New Mexico State, trying to revamp that college career. He did pretty well, rushed for 823 yards and 3 touchdowns and added 23 receptions for 277 yards and 3 more scores for New Mexico State. He's only 5'11", 215. So he's like, I'm going to punch you in the face and I'm going to run down your throat. And it's proven to work for Kentucky in the past. And so, I mean, Seth McGowan, definitely a Mark Stoops kind of running back. And so I think that if he kind of lives up to those expectations that he kind of set for himself at Oklahoma, Kentucky could be in for one on the run game.
He's a bowling ball type of guy.
Definitely a bowling ball.
But I do believe in I believe in his pass game. Like, I think he's diverse because I remember watching like Oklahoma clips, and obviously this is 2 years ago, but I remember their spring practice and everything. Like, he would run Texas and flat routes. And I really believe there could be – I like Calzada's dual threat style. Yeah. And I think if Stoops really wants to, like, mess with people and be like, oh, yeah, Kentucky has a new offense. We have a new flow. We have
break out the read option, pace. Maybe. That would be
crazy. Kind of playing, like – I don't know what to call it. Like, maybe an I form where you can hand off left to Dante and run, like, an inside zone. And you can keep it and run that option with Seth. Yeah. But it also becomes that PA where Seth can just run a quick Texas over the middle and dump it. That because could be a very cool style of play, and I think it would.
I think it would fit too, though, because you're not really going to rely on Calzada this year to, throw for 300-400 yards a game and 6 touchdowns. You know what I mean?
Right.
Your expectations is for him to lead the offense and just win football games. So you're not asking him to be a Heisman winner. So I think if you kind of, put together the pieces that Stoops is building, we can get something out of it. Get something fresh out of this offense.
I believe in it, though, just because you also have Jamarian Wilcox out there. Yeah. And I think that's the guy. If you could highlight anybody from last year, after that Ole Miss win and going into Vandy, I was thinking, God, like, can we start this guy? Because it was 10 yards every time. He'd come in on 2nd and long and make it 3rd and short, or he would break one for 20. Yeah. And instantly I always thought Sumo was that guy, but he was, he's a power back. And Jamarion, dude, he may be running back 3, but he could be running back 1. And I think I'm going to be very upset with Stoops and Bush if they don't utilize all 3 of these running backs with Calzada and just run like some sort of like power option running down your throat type of offense, and then let Zach just like toss screens to Kendrick and let him get upfield. That's like the offense. That's what it should be. Please don't run like PA power O and try and throw long balls and think, Kentucky's going to start this new offense. I think stick with your bread and butter because you have 3 stud running backs.
Yeah, I agree. And, like we were talking about a little earlier, they're not going to be able to rely on the pass game, not just because of Calzada, but also because their wide receiver room isn't very strong. They have, obviously, like we're talking Kendrick Law, who's can be amazing this year if given the right circumstances. They just brought in Hardly Gilmore, Ashton Cozart, so they have some names who are more promising.
JJ Hester too.
Yeah, JJ Hester too.
It's speedy.
It's speedy. So like you were saying with these, maybe some of these screens, some of these types of PA stuff, you might be able to get kind of quick passes on your speed receivers downfield just to get those yards that you're going to need to compete in the SEC.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that have a lot to prove at the wide receiver position. I look at guys like Troy Stellato.
Mm-hmm.
I believe there's a guy that also came in and we were like, he had like 8 yards. He was a 0-star and committed, and we were just like,
oh.
Yeah, a lot to prove.
Yeah.
But it's like, I also think when you have Josh Caddis too.
Yeah.
And some guys you could utilize there. The offense has a lot of potential, but swinging things to talk about this, I think the defense is what has to hold strong and hold true.
Mm-hmm.
I know nothing about the defense, if I'm being completely honest. I really have no idea what's going to be what, who's going to play where. Obviously, just because it's like I've played with them in like college football 26. I know about like David
get the
Gusta
names.
And oh gosh, I know about Alex Afari, obviously.
Yeah, Alex Afari is actually a good name on the list.
But outside of that, I don't know too much about it. I know Ty Bryant's going to hold down the secondary. It's like, golly, what they have to hold true, because I feel like these past couple of years when Kentucky's offense has been bad, it's always like, okay, the defense can get a stop now, and the offense can have another chance.
Yeah.
Like, Ole Miss, Georgia, they held Tennessee to a very tight game last year.
The last 3 games they've held Georgia to like a combined like less than 60 points. When you think about it, that's kind of crazy saying that Georgia can drop 60 a game without question.
Yeah.
So previously, the defense has been able to do a lot in those close battles in the SEC. But we're going to have to kind of see if they can do that again with an offense that we don't know how productive it's going to be.
Yeah. It kind of opens up a scary world, though, because like how I'm not going to say funny, but how ironic would it be that Kentucky finally has that crazy offense to bring it back to like 2012 and 2013, and then
even like 2019, low-key.
Yeah, with Will. But it's like, imagine having an offense like that, and for the first time in like I don't know, the past 5 years at least, your defense is like horrible and can not get a stop. That would be the most Kentucky thing ever. But I believe in the defense a lot because I don't think the personnel matters as much. I
don't think
going back to what Stoops told us, it's execution, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he talked about Kyle Zeta, and he believes in Kyle Zeta and even believes in Cutter being in the offense full time, no matter who it is. It's just about like catching tough passes, blocking for the guy, giving him time. Defense, it's having your reads, having your assignments, being physical down low, and like getting in the paint if you're the linebackers. Like, don't be scared. It's
and
football.
That's
go play
exactly
football.
What Stoops told us in that presser yesterday. I mean, he said We need to play better around the quarterback. We need to give him time. We need to make tough catches, have balance. We need to help him out. He's right. It's been the biggest problem, especially with the last 2 quarterbacks who you basically made retire from football. So, you know what I mean? It's like you kind of have to start to look at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, well, one of my quarterbacks was a 6th-round pick. Shout out Devin Leary. I don't even know if he still plays for the Ravens. And, you know, your other guy probably just fishes on Saturdays now. So it's like, it's crazy. I mean, really, it is.
Yeah.
You need a change of identity.
Yeah, it just all circles back. Like, the identity can change with this group, the personnel. You have so much potential to do something with it. And I think a big part of it is talk about 50 new faces. I mean, Stoops finally admitted, one, that this is the first offseason everybody's been fully competitive, fully there. There's always something with someone. 100% of the team has been participating.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, he believes finally they're up to game with the entire SEC when it comes to revenue sharing. And do I agree with that? Does it feel logistical? Probably not.
We're definitely $100 million off, probably somewhere.
But if the coach says that, you know, publicly, I'm gonna assume that there's at least confidence for the future. For sure. And again, I don't think by any means Kentucky's gonna be, I don't know, like a playoff team or ranked or anything like that.
Come on, dude.
I believe just my expectations is 5 to 6 wins. I think they can pull out a bowl season. I do. Looking at the schedule, there's some SEC teams that are always overrated. There's some that fall off the map. There's some whatever. I believe they can be a bowl team if everything goes well, which probably won't. But piecing everything together to go into that 26 class that I've already been very vocal about, that 26 team is going to be crazy.
Yes.
I think with Matt Pontowski and all these other, I mean, gosh, I'm trying to think of the exact number, but there's 10 plus 3 stars and 4 stars.
I was going to say there was about a month or so there where we were getting a 3 or 4 star
30 commit
every day, basically. So
it was a lot, man, and they really, really went in on it. They got a little bit of everything, too, which is nice. You have your running backs, your wide receivers. They got a tight end.
They went for some offensive linemen, defensive ends, you know what I mean, edges. They went for a little bit of everybody.
They got everybody they could. And I think big picture, I'm not going to say Kentucky football is back, but I think this is the season. This is the season where everything starts to, kind of go in an upward projection. And it's like,
keep going up at least.
I think Stoops is in a mindset, and he even admitted to it, but it's like, what do I have to lose? You know, some people think I'm on the hot seat. Well, Mitch ain't going to fire me because you have to pay me a lot of money. So
$30 million buyout. They're not going to do that. You know what I mean?
So now it's not like, I don't know, do I really have to make the playoffs? No, I don't think anybody expects me to do that. So you can go out there and coach freely.
But he needs
be aggressive, but also experimentative. You can try new stuff, and I don't think anyone would complain because it's well, you got to do something new. So that's what I'm saying. You have this personnel. You have nothing to lose. There's room for this team to be better than 1-7 in the SEC. I believe that. I really do believe that.
I realistically, in my mind, if he can find a way to pull out a bowl game appearance this year, that's a huge win for him and a huge win for Kentucky football. Because right now you have everybody on the SEC coaches poll putting them 14 or 15 out of 16 teams in the SEC.
Sad,
it's tough. When 2 years ago they were ranked in the top 10, beating Ole Miss and going 5-6-0 to start the season. So it's really if he can pull out a 6-win season, even if it's just to hit that threshold, people will start to maybe take a step back and be like, all right, maybe he just didn't have a great year or two. Maybe we do still have this trust and this faith in Coach Stoops. But until he kind of hits that point, people are going to be throwing their hands up in the air.
Unfortunately, though, it's the backhand of a top 3 basketball program in the country.
Absolutely.
And it's,
there's very few schools who kind of have both of them at that top level.
Right. And, the teams that do have both are always subpar and one every year. And it's Alabama is the
I think of like Alabama and Tennessee being kind of like those two staple, like we're good at both schools right now. You know?
Yeah, but then like you had the year Saban leaves last year, and it's like
the football team.
Alabama wasn't the best.
2 or 3 games.
They're great,
Of course,
by most standards,
still awesome.
but not Alabama standards.
Yeah.
Not in the playoffs going crazy, winning natties, and
it's
losing to Michigan and Milroe throwing 4 picks in their bowl game. So it's like, it's not Alabama standards.
Exactly.
And then like Tennessee basketball's all right, but they
still never been in the Final Four.
They never prove anything.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how football is too. I get your point though. It's very true. Those are the schools I think of as well.
Yeah.
Kentucky, it's been very rare they have a season where they're good at both. It's been almost a decade.
I mean, even when you think about their last 10 years where they've been good at football, they had that down era with Cal towards the end of his tenure with Kentucky.
Where Jack Goldkey.
Exactly, where you're out in the first or second round of the tournament.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to be optimistic because you have to be that guy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be the guy to just sit here and yap about how bad they are because I did it all last year and it sucked. I was so upset going to all the football games.
There's definitely plenty of videos of us yapping about the football team being bad last year.
I tell you what, I watched the Georgia game because I'm like, I'm not gonna go to the Georgia game because I don't believe
I did the same thing. I was like, I'm not going. They're gonna lose by 50. You know what I mean?
And they almost won.
And it was like cold. It was like a bad weekend.
Yeah. And then they had Vandy the next week after they beat Bama, and I'm like, they beat Ole Miss, and then I'm like, oh shoot. I was like, okay, they can beat Vandy.
Yeah.
Probably be ranked like top 20. They threw that game away. I thought the refs were horrible though. Mm-hmm. I'll talk about that game. I'll tell my kids about that game. I thought the refs were
for the next 20
so
years.
bad.
Yeah.
And I think anybody that remembers will agree with me.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you.
But that part of the season we're looking at it like you can leave with 4 wins and you're left with 2. And it's like that's why Stoops was kind of so open-minded because like respectfully he knew he effed up and he knew he coached bad.
He made it known too. He made it very clear that he knows that.
Yeah. So it's like when you have a guy who has nothing to lose and is open-minded, I think that's more scary than a guy that's overly confident.
I agree. So I think we should wrap up this episode here with predictions for this season. Roll through every game, give a win-loss, maybe a score somewhere in there.
Okay.
Start off with Toledo.
Toledo's rough just because, gosh, I know that one running back's coming back to Lex. Not going to say him by name because we do not talk about him. I'm just kidding. No, but I think being at Kentucky, they win. I'll say 27-20 Kentucky.
Wow, you're going close game?
Yeah, because Toledo's solid.
All right.
They're solid, though.
Yeah.
I'll give 27-20 Kentucky.
I was going to give them maybe like a 30-13, so similar vibe there. And
then let's not do scores yet because we have to get through week 1. But let's
you're right,
give me your how many wins you thinking?
Win total?
Yeah.
For the year?
I'm going 6.
I mean, I look through at it and I think, okay, Toledo, Eastern Michigan.
Right. Hold on.
Tennessee Tech. Right? USC? All right, here. We'll spin this around so you can see here. So Toledo, Eastern Michigan, and Tennessee Tech are like 3 I think that you can chalk up as wins now.
Yeah.
Other than that, you're thinking maybe Auburn, maybe Vanderbilt. Everybody else, I mean, you got 3 games in a row. You're going, Georgia, Tennessee, Florida. I think you're losing those 3 in a row.
Yeah, I think they can give. Gosh, I don't know, man.
And then you're going, Vandy, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Texas, and then Auburn.
I think what I'm banking on heavy, is these 2 home games, right?
Yeah.
Because if you can continue the trend of keeping it tight with Georgia, it'll be an exact replica of last year.
Yeah, you come into Tennessee at home.
And then Florida at home.
Those
are games you could steal. You know how if anyone gets upset at me saying that, they don't watch college football.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
I'm not saying Kentucky's going to blow Tennessee out. I'm saying they could beat them.
No,
because
but it's a rivalry game, and you see that stuff happen all the time.
Who in the hell thought Diego Pavia was going to have 400 total yards against Alabama and beat them at Bama?
Beat them at Bama.
So it's like the SEC can be so shaken up. And especially at Kroger Field, if you give BBN any sliver of hope, you can pack that place out. And
Oh,
if you
for sure.
If you beat Tennessee there and you're 3-1 with the close
And you
game
know you're
going to
beat Florida there for sure because Florida's even, a school that the last 5 years.
They're bigger rivals than Tennessee is for Kentucky football.
The last 5 years, Florida and Kentucky football has been back and forth. There was those 2 years in a row we had them and we were burning couches, but other than that.
But Stoops said that second half looks scary, and
he did.
Darn right it looks scary because
darn right it does, dude.
High-powered Ole Miss team who is rebuilding, but it's still Ole Miss.
But it's still Ole Miss every year.
And then at South Carolina, you were not winning that game.
South Carolina at home is
well, they own Kentucky too.
They do. Last year that game was bad, man. That game was real bad.
You're not beating Arch Manning in Texas.
Definitely not. Well, it's a home game too. That's the Parents' Weekend home game for Kentucky.
Arch Manning.
Texas at Kentucky. Bro. My dad was like, I gotta come to watch Arch Manning play, and I was like, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be a very good game. So
I don't know. I'm motivated, man.
Motivated.
I believe.
So I think I'm gonna give us
6 wins.
6.
I'm going 6.
You're going 6?
I'm going 5 to 6.
So you're going Toledo, Eastern Michigan, Vandy, Tennessee Tech.
No.
And who? What are your 5 wins?
Toledo, Eastern, and then Tennessee, Florida. That's 4. And then Auburn, Tennessee Tech.
Tennessee Tech. All right. So
and they could beat Ole Miss as well.
I'm going to be a little more realistic.
I'll interchange Ole Miss and Florida just because I believe in Lagway. So those are they'll win one of those games, I believe. So I'll give you 5 to 6. That's my prediction.
Give me 4. I think it's gonna be 4 and 8. They'll get Toledo, Eastern Michigan, Tennessee
same as
Tech,
last year.
And I think they'll get Auburn. Yeah.
So you got the same as last year. One SEC win.
One SEC win.
All right, man.
And 4 wins and no bowl game, man. No bowl game 2 years in a row.
If it's another 4-8 season, but we get a 12-0 next year, that's fine.
2026, man. 2026.
You already know.
They already know.
Big Blue Nation, thanks for watching and listening to another episode of the Bluegrass Breakdown. Make sure to check us out on everything. It's just KY Insider, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. The list goes on. And also make sure to check out our website, kyinsider.com. We write very personal, cool stories for all of you to check out.
For sure.
Daily stuff on all our social platforms. Please go check it out. And make sure to tune in every Wednesday at noon for brand new episodes of the Bluegrass Breakdown. I believe next week we're not recording.
It'll be
a little summer vacay.
But
my guy's moving. It's gonna be
Media Day is 2 days after this episode comes out, though. So the following week's episode will have plenty of content, a lot to talk about with football. It's gonna be a great episode.
Yeah, and we got a Fan Day 2 Saturday.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be a big weekend.
Starting to roll in. There's gonna be a lot more stuff to talk about.
Check us out.
Absolutely.
For sure.